good to make it. Perfect. You guys have helmets?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful. I'm Ian.
Yes.
So maybe we can get your guys' names.
Noe.
There's Noah,
Okay.
Judith, and Julian.
Judith and Julian. Wonderful. Whereabouts you guys visiting us from?
Calgary.
From Calgary. Oh, some fellow Canadians.
No.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. So with your bikes there, I can just go over a quick little orientation here.
That's your
Yeah, that'll work.
That
Okay,
is your-
wonderful. Like I said, I'll just go over.
Okay, let's go. You guys want to guess who the biggest one is? You probably know. It's San Francisco. Yeah. A lot of people guess New York or something, but it's actually it's San Francisco. And then we said Vancouver's number 2, so very big Chinatown. So what it is, like what sort of established this Chinatown was the recent things that brought a lot of population growth to Vancouver. You know, by far the biggest thing we've ever had happen for our population growth is this railway, right? Like once this railway was built, this thing to connect our country coast to coast. Like, to give you an idea of this railway, this thing was built in 1886, or was finished in 1886. And at that time, here in this region, what we call Vancouver, there's only 1,000 people here. That was it, just 1,000 people in the 1880s. But once this railway was built, you know, you fast forward about 25 years, we're up to 100,000. So really, like, you know, unlocked in this region, essentially. You know, this railway, like, since they built it from the east to the west, it was kind of like a 10-year promise of Canada, like we're going to build this thing within 10 years. And that was sort of going according to plan until they got to the Rocky Mountains, right? That was the difficult section to build a railway. So they got there, like, this is going to take another 10 or 15 years to build this small section here. So they, you know, we had about 8,000 Chinese come over to help us build this section of the railway through the Rocky Mountains. And since this was the terminus station, like this is the last stop, this is where all the Chinese workers kind of ended up. But you know, it wasn't a time where, you know, met with a lot of music going. Oh, okay. Drown me out with some rock and roll. But you know, it wasn't a time where Chinese were met with like a lot of racism in the city, so they weren't even allowed to live in Vancouver, right? Just kind of like in the city. But so that's what really sort of established this community around here. Was the all these Chinese workers that wanted a place to live. So this would be our but the one thing I want to point out is this building right across the street from us here, Jacktown Church building here. This building holds the title. So this is the skinniest commercial building in the world right here. The Jacktown Church building, the whole building is just this dark green section. So like that pink and the light green section, that's actually a completely separate building. So like I said, it's only about 5 feet wide, only about 1.5 meters wide, the whole building. So you can see they've kind of designed it. It's just enough space for a bit of a stairwell in there, and then they have the hop up the top. So it's it's a very kind of unique design. Yeah, if you come a little further, you can see it a little better down right on the corner of Enter and Shanghai Alley. But the story of this building was kind of interesting. What it is, this guy had a normal sized piece of land, like lot, and then the city decided to rework the streets. They're like, okay, we'll make this the main throughway of Chinatown. We'll add an extra sidewalk, or we'll expand the sidewalk, put an extra lane of traffic in there. So he lost about 85% of his land. So he's just left with this tiny little sliver. It was almost a bet with his friends. Like, you should just sell it to the city. You can't do anything with such a small sliver of land. But he held up. Yeah, he held up. He found an architect that built in this building that just barely squeaked into a little sliver of land he had. And he still has that proud Guinness World Records plaque in there. Downtown might be a few.
Part of the adventure.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's all part of the Vancouver experience. Yeah. Very authentic city. Totally, yeah. No, we'll inquire, but we'll start with going through the downtown. So after that, it'll be nice and peaceful and tranquil. But anyways, what we'll do, we'll ride through to Gastown. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick heads up. On this next corner that we're gonna be riding through, this is gonna be part of what we call the downtown east side of Vancouver. So this is actually like the poorest neighborhood of the whole country condensed into Vancouver here. You'll see it's a very, very quick transition between like Chinatown to this downtown east side to Gastown. It's kind of just one street. So, it can catch a lot of people off guard, kind of a jarring transition. You'll see a lot of probably homeless, a lot of people on the street there. It is a relatively very, very safe place, even like all of Vancouver in general is very safe, even this area. It's not like you could walk down there by yourself. It's like, it's not like a threat if anything's gonna happen, but it's more of probably an area you want to avoid just for kind of comfort reasons. So just to kind of give you a quick heads up on that, and then we'll head right to our Gastown. I'll explain a little bit more about this street here a little bit later. I'll kind of tell you why it's right here. But you'll see it's a very, very kind of quick transition between Chinatown, the downtown east side, to Gastown. So just to give you a quick heads up, and then we'll make it
stop on weekends and then extra only zone. But yeah, there's a couple little service vehicles and everything back there. But yeah, if you guys want to come, like I said, come over to this side. There shouldn't be any more cars here. Should be pretty quiet around here. But what this gas town is, this is actually the original center of Vancouver. So like this is where it all started from, right here. You know, we can see the railway right here. So like this is the terminus station, and that's really sort of sprung off this area. You know, because like I said, this railway was so monumental for our country and for our region. Like I can show you actually. This is a map of what this sort of territory looked like right prior to the railway being built. So what it was, you know, we had British North America, which very soon became Canada, obviously, the United States, but this whole light green section. This was a very interesting thing they're doing at this time because they were allowing, you know, British and Americans to live here, and they were splitting the government between Britain and the United States until they decided whose land it was going to be, because it was disputed. They weren't necessarily fighting over it, but it was like, you know, is this going to be part of this new country called Canada or United States? They were kind of uncertain. It was going to go one way or the other. But because of the Oregon Trail, like, you know, Lewis and Clark, there was quite a few Americans residing in this area. However, Canada really wanted this land, again, to build this railway, so, you know, connect this country coast to coast. So kind of with those two things in mind, that's when they decided to, instead of make this one or the other, they would just split it in half. So like, you know, because up to then, like the 49th parallel would stop right at the Rocky Mountains. They're like, okay, we'll decide, you know, which way we're going to go, left or right, when we get to these Rocky Mountains. But with this very strange agreement, we're like, we'll just go straight as an arrow, right across this Rocky Mountain range. So what they did, they carved like a 20-foot section across these whole Rocky Mountains, still there, just to separate Canada and the United States. It's a very strange thing. Like I said, it's typically you take mountain ranges, rivers, and things down when you're doing the border, but this section here is very interesting. Yeah, it's like straight to the coast. Doesn't matter. Straight as an arrow. With the only exception is Vancouver Island. That's the one and only place where it dips below the 49th parallel. But you know, this railway, if it wasn't for this railway, there's a good chance your country would look a little bit something more like this, right?
Oh,
like a big fist. Like we did it. We made it. But yeah, it looks a little bit different than it turned out now. So you know, this is a very monumental thing for our country being a part of Canada. Yeah, absolutely. But anyways, what we'll do, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Gastown, but I just want us to ride up about half a block here. There's our big attraction here is the Gastown Steam Club. You've heard of this. But in about 4 minutes, it's going to do just a quick little preview of what it does on the hour. So, like I said, we'll get there, and then I will talk a little bit more about Gastown. It is a fascinating area of our history.
Yeah.
Kabayan.
points about downtown here. Because, you know, as I said, this is the original center of Vancouver. And, you know, we were off to a bit of a rocky start. We're in the early development for our days in the city. What it was, like, you know, once we knew this railway was coming here, this area is expanding very, very quickly. So we're living in the pretty much middle of the rainforest. You get a good idea of what Vancouver looked like when we get into Stanley Park. But you can just imagine just like a huge rainforest here, massive trees. So we're clearing this, right? We're like chopping down the trees, we're sending the logs to the sawmill, and then everything else we're just, you know, putting in massive piles of like brush and branches and then burning it to try to clear the stuff out as quick as we can. Because we knew this railway was going to bring so much population here. And you know, what happened is obviously practice doesn't buy. You know, what happened one day, it was exactly 2 months after we officially incorporated as the city of Vancouver, then some wind picked up and it carried one of these fires like right across our city. This thing, as you can imagine, because we have so much wood at our disposal, everything's built out of wood. Right? Wood buildings, wood sidewalks, everything's built out of wood. So, you know, this was, and not only wood, this is cedar wood. This is like, you know, if you ever started a fire, you know, like cedar is what you want to use for kindling, right? Like it burns really hot, burns really fast. So our whole city went up pretty much like highway kindling. This fire lasted about 35 minutes. As I said, there's about 1,000 people here, 500 buildings, and when it was done, there's only 3 buildings remaining. It literally wiped out everything, like a complete fresh start. So, okay, sorry, I keep taking my time. I'm gonna take a quick pause, because within the next 20 seconds, it's gonna do a thing, and then I'll carry on the second half of this this fire story. But if you want to so get your phone ready, it'll do a little whistle for us at any second now. I've just noticed that it's more accurate on the.
Oh, mistake.
All right, bravo!
Yeah. Good job, Joe.
Hindi ko alam na pwede ko
Ha?
Hindi mo talaga alam kailan local talaga mag-ano sila.
But I just wanted to point out one thing. This big brown building on the other side of the street here. This is called the Marine Building. Yeah, this one here. If you look really closely, it's got a marine theme to it. So there's like seahorses, there's seaweed, there's all these like tridents all etched in up there. They can be pretty tough. Like top crown molding. There's all these really, really kind of detailed and intricate details. But look at this building. This 1930. At that time, this building was held the title in 1930s. Not only the tallest building of our city, the tallest building of our entire country, right here. This skyscraping 22 stories. It's behemoth, right? What a architectural marvel. You know, to help you understand this a little bit better, I'm really Vancouver. Looked like in the 1930s. So it's a little bit more noticeable in this picture what it used to look like, right? Yeah, it's very time's changed a little bit since then. I sort of have to point out this building now, you know, right beside it. It's one of the only places you can actually see it now. If a truck pulls up beside you and gets hit behind it. It's an absolutely gorgeous piece of architecture. It's known as the Art Deco masterpiece of North America. You know, it's 1920s, 1930s. Yeah, it's going to be closed today because of the holiday, but because it is a commercial building. But if you guys are around downtown tomorrow, I definitely recommend going and checking out the lobby. Kind of go in there, public, which is very like, you know, it's incredible. It's very, very beautiful. So you know, they have this huge zodiac sign and marble floor. It's very, very interesting. Oh, no way. Oh, okay. And you go through it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a coffee shop and stuff around there, so it's if you're around downtown, I definitely would recommend going to the lobby. That's the main entrance right there. It'll just be closed today because of the holiday. But no, it's definitely worth that. Marine Building. Marine Building, yeah. I think it's Gerard and Hastings Street. Hastings.
It's an iconic one.
Yeah, the main opening ceremonies happen at our PC place. Yeah, this is the big introduction to the Olympics here with the Padre. We actually lit this a week ago during the opening ceremony.
Yeah, that was fireworks last
So,
night.
yeah, I guess it's a thing that every country does. Like they have a torch show. It's very rare they light it. You know, it's like the gas bill on this thing alone. It's for every 20 minutes it runs. It's about $5,000. So they don't put it on that much. But yeah, I guess for the ceremonies at the Paris Games, they
Should
ignited
follow,
it.
yeah, every time we
But
come here.
so, you know, this was a very, very big year for us in the Olympics here. Not just as far as our city hosting them, but you know, really for our whole country. This is what it was. This is the This is the third time that Canada has hosted games. We had them in Montreal, hosted the games in the 70s, and then Calgary had the
Yes,
games in
88.
88, right? A lot of people know the Calgary ones from the classic movie Cool Runnings, the Jamaican bobsled team.
Yeah.
That took place at the Calgary Olympics, right? But what it was, we actually as Canadians, we set a record for both of these Olympics, the Montreal and the Calgary one, the Calgary Games. So we're the first and only country to host the games without winning a single gold medal. So
I know.
like we did it twice. We did that somehow. We lost the curling gold medal.
I know.
I don't know how, but somebody beat us at curling. But you know, we did have this curse almost bestowed onto us, of, you know, not being able to win one gold medal in our hosting country.
Good job,
Ano
Julia.
daw?
She knew it's pixelated. Oh.
But here, like, you know, right on the water, you'll see this is our seaport. This is where a lot of seaplanes are coming in. Pretty much every yeah, I've got another seaplane coming in hot here, coming in for landing. The other thing, just one more thing I want to point out on this range here. You see those two peaks kind of popping up over that mountain range there? These are called the Lions Peaks. Really like the five of the most mountain peaks of the whole region. So you know, they're kind of, they seem not too noticeable right now because the block is on this mountain. But you know, anywhere further back from the city, you'll always see these two Lions Peaks, like a very, very pronounced peaks. So we get a lot of names from these. We got our football team is named after them, the BC Lions. Our bridge there, we'll get a better view of, like Lions Gate Bridge, kind of like the gate between the lions. Have you ever heard of a big film studio, like the Lionsgate Studio? Yeah. A lot of people think this is in Los Angeles or something, but no, it's here in Vancouver. Yeah, it's here. It's actually in North Vancouver, Lionsgate Studios. Yeah. And it's named after those Lions Peaks. So yeah, whenever you see Netflix or movie theater like Lionsgate Studios, you know what Peaks is named after Vancouver. still like probably the number one thing to do in Vancouver, I will still believe this is by far still like the most underrated thing to do in Vancouver is going to Stanley Park. Because you know what, like 99% of the people do, whether it be like tourists or locals, is you do this beautiful waterfront path that goes all the way around the outside of the park, which is great, really nice ride and really nice place to go for a run or a walk. But Stanley Park is over 1,000 acres in there, like 1,000 acres of protected forest. So most people miss out. Pardon me. They don't go deep enough. Exactly. It's kind of like you're attracted by the waterfall around a beautiful path, but you fail to go on the inside. It remains completely untouched. So to start with, I will take you guys on a little bit of the seawall. There's some really nice spots to see. Like you get great views. But then I will take you guys off the sort of the popular well-traveled seawall and start getting and see a lot of them. We have we got beavers, coyotes, raccoons, skunks, squirrels. It's just like such a full ecosystem in there. So it's absolutely incredible thing as far as like a nature escape. We're gonna start like with the seawall. Just sort of be a little bit aware. As you can see, sometimes it can be pretty busy with bikes. Right here it starts, so it's only one way on a bicycle. So you don't really have to worry too much about bikes coming head on to you. But just kind of try to stay a little bit to the right hand side, let people pass us on the left. And then we're gonna visit a few spots in here and then I'll start taking you guys into the park. But and this park, this is named after, his name was Frederick Stanley, but he was the first General of Canada, the Governor General of Canada. And you might recognize his name because this guy was a big sports fan as well. On one of his trips over from England, he brought this thing called the Stanley Cup.
You want water, Julian? No, but they don't. Thank you. Going